What is up, everybody? To University Rit today. We're gonna talk about toxic positivity. So we have somebody out here who shares my same thought of you right here. He says, as someone who loves video games, I love that people are excited for Astrobot, but give me this Space Marine 2. Look at this game made by adults for adults. All that action right there, all that goriness. This is what I'm talking about exactly. Astrobot may be a cool game to some people, but it is a kiddie game. It's made for little 6-year-olds. Like, I don't care that a lot of grown adults want to play that game. Cool for you, but when people are like, that's the game of the year, I just gotta roll my eyes at that. Like, really? You rather have more Astrobot games than games like this? That's just kind of crazy to me, but he made this statement and other people followed. One comment that was in particular was that this one. This guy says, exactly. F Astrobot, sure it's a fun and cool kid game, but to call it game of the year, we have Space Marine 2, or even like Final Fantasy 7 or Black Myth Wukong, Stellar Blade, I would even use those other games. Indiana Jones is going to come up. It just seems like a major slap in the face to the gaming industry, the gaming public as a whole, when you put a kiddie game like Astrobot in a game of your conversation. Like, what are we doing here? It's like, me as a gamer, I'm not looking for no Astrobot as a game to play, looking forward to. But, you know, if you say otherwise, you're toxic. You're a toxic console fanboy, according to some of these people. So you have clowns like so-and-so and so-and-so capping for Astrobot. Get the F out of here with this nonsense. Completely understand, because me as an adult, I don't want to play a kiddie game like Astrobot. I gotta say, hey, we can have the adult games, then every once in a while get a kiddie game like Astrobot, but I want to get mostly games aimed for my demographic. And when you say that, you're toxic. You can't be too honest. You can't be honest. You can't speak honestly because you're toxic. So we're going to preface it with that. We're going to read, because he added these people too. I don't know. He really wanted to stir the can right here, as some people would say. So, people responded back to the guy. Weirdo stuff and disturbing. Console wars are dumb. Please unfollow me. Let's talk about this console war aspect. I don't see an issue with console wars, to be honest. It's funny. It's funny banter between two people who like different consoles, two different brands. People say it's immature. It's so immature. But how the hell is people who who love sports not immature? They wear the different jerseys, the memorabilia, all the other stuff. But that's not immature, apparently. And then it gets even worse, which is actual toxicity. People treat sports teams like it's gang warfare. Because if you're in one city's team, one team city, and they got their merchandise on, their jerseys, and you wore a jersey of a different team, they treat you like it's like Crips and Bloods. People get into physical altercations. I've seen some people get killed over the sports, whatever, rivalry. So, and it's like when a team win, people celebrate by destroying the city. I view that as toxic. But, you know, apparently that's not toxic. But, you know, video games, you saying you like PlayStation, Xbox more, that's toxic. You don't see how a kiddie game could be game of the year, because most gamers are grown adults. It's like that's not even in their demographic, but you're toxic apparently. So I just don't understand how people be like console wars are toxic. They be so adamant about that statement. Console wars are just toxic, but you know but you see them champion a sports team, which is even more toxic. So, you know. Just always fascinates you about that the concept right there. You celebrating a sports team isn't toxic, but you know, console wars are toxic apparently. Why are you so worked up about literal games? It's not that deep. Once again, if you speak how you really feel, which is probably how most people feel, people will be like, why is this kiddie game winning game of the year or even being nominated? Apparently you're toxic because you're being honest. Because I'm pretty sure you talk to the average person about what the best game that came out this year, and you say Astrobot, they look at you like you're crazy. But only in the gaming industry, the gaming space, like, you know, it's this real positive. You gotta have this toxic positivity, as some people would say it. So I wanted to go further, but I'm not trying to make some people mad. Cause I see how some people act when you put them in a video. They act like, why you put me in this video? Even though you're a public figure, why you put me in the video, man? You just can't put people in videos or you're toxic. But let's continue. Why not like both? PlayStation gamers get both. You can enjoy both, sure, but it's like one is an adult game aimed for the adult demographic. One is a kiddie game aimed for kids, but adults are championing it. So, okay, it's like equivalent to like, remember the My Little Pony thing was like a big thing. There's like the news start covering it saying, why are these grown adults so hyped about My Little Ponies? They call them bronies. Kind of the same thing here. It's like I'm seeing a lot of grown adults who are championing a franchise that's aimed for toddlers or kids. It's like the same thing here. So if you say that, me just saying I'll probably be labeled as toxic. You just can't say that. You're supposed to champion Astrobot. If you don't champion Astrobot, you're just a toxic console fanboy, apparently. Yeah, but Space Marine 2, that might be my latest pickup though. That game looks really good though. I'm very highly impressed by that game. So that definitely should be a game of the year contender. For just from what I'm seeing, that game looks fascinating. So I just can't honestly see Astrobot winning game of the year. Like I wouldn't take the game industry seriously at this point. And once again, not only does kiddie games have that notion, like I can't see that winning the game of the year. I can't see like a indie game that took very little effort to make being a game of the year either. Because you mean to tell me you got these big teams who took all these years, as fascinating artwork, all this talent to make these games like this, and it just loses to Astrobot or like an indie game. I'd be kind of like pissed, to be honest. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Who's voting for this nonsense? For one, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, I just have to talk about this because I hate that grown adults can't speak like grown adults because we're afraid of getting blackballed by Sony or being afraid of being labeled as toxic because you give your actual feelings about different topics. It's like, one, this is not toxic. I've seen some toxic stuff in my day in real life. I've seen people get slapped. I've seen fights happen. This is nowhere near it. The console war, no matter how bad you want to say it is, how toxic it is, quote unquote, nobody's getting into fights. Nobody's dying over console war nonsense. It's just banter about which one you prefer. It's the most. It gets cringy, sure, sometimes, but it's not getting toxic. You aren't seeing somebody, well, you do see some situations where people talk about their race, religion, or sexuality, but, you know, that's the most it's going to go down to. Which is very rare, but that's the most. You're going to see somebody get into a physical altercation. But if you can call a console war toxic, then call sports, whatever, sports toxic, which I'm pretty sure you're not going to do. You're going to go to the next baseball, football, basketball game and be just fine. Even though if you probably wear the other team's colors, you're probably going to get jumped. I would think that's way more toxic, to be honest, but okay. Especially when it's like a championship season or whatever, those people get real toxic, actual toxic, not this fake toxic nonsense that people want to say gaming is. So those are my thoughts about this. Sure, I agree. Enjoy Astrobot if you want to enjoy that game. It just looks real suspect, sus if it's like game of the year contender when it's like actual games out there for the adult demographic that's being ignored over Astrobot. I gotta give you a shout out at that point. So those are my thoughts about this. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and peace.